So number 9, Jazz Dhillon. Jazz, how do you feel after a tough loss to the Vancouver Rebels?
I think everybody knows what went wrong on the field. I think everybody knows that we made mistakes, and we got to get back in the boardroom and we'll pick it up from there. Because I know we're capable of beating these guys.
And this week in practice, you guys feel pretty good. How did you feel coming out of this week's practice as a team?
Yeah, we felt good. We were fired up coming out, and I mean, a few big plays, and guys, it happens, right? But I know what we need to work on. Our team knows what we need to work on, and we're going to come back stronger and mentally stronger, and we're going to come back and beat these guys.
Perfect. Now, you guys always had a game plan going in this. How did you feel it executed very well? You guys had to change as you went on the fly. You stick to your game plan the entire way?
We stick to our game plan majority of what we had installed. I mean, over the week, and there was a few big things that we had to install during the game that once we got it going, it was working. But I think now we know exactly what we need to do. So build on that, right?
Well, 2 more games left in the season. How you guys feel going into Nanaimo next week?
I still feel pretty good. I feel pretty strong against Nanaimo too. I know our team will come back and rally off of this. I mean, it's a tough loss. As you can see on the scoreboard, there's only a touchdown, and that was the difference at the end of the day. But in Nanaimo, I think we'll be fine too.
Good. Well, you get these guys again in 2 weeks. That's awesome. Number 9, Jazz Dhillon. Jazz, thanks for taking the time. Here the 4th-year veteran, number 89, Kurt Pedersen. Kurt, how does it feel out there this game? I know it's a tough loss, but how do you guys feel going in next week still?
Next week against VI, we're going to put in a lot more work. They're the best team in the league right now, and in order to beat them, you have to play your absolute best. What we did today is not going to help next week. We have to work 5 times harder than we did last week, and got to bring our game.
So, a strong week of practice. What do you think you guys' main goal is going into this week's practice?
Just everybody be there, everybody put in all the work, listen up. That's all I can say about that. That's something we missed this week that we could have really used. So,
you guys have got a new home here. That's also your last home game here at the new stadium in Langley. It's your last home game here as well. How did you find the new facility and changing over being out here in Langley this year?
It's like night and day. Like going from a stadium that had a hill and no bleachers and change rooms across the field. Not even across the field. It was about a 5-minute walk. But to here is just this amazing. They got a great future, the Rams program.
Absolutely. And also going into Nanaimo next week, number 1 team in the league. What is it you guys you think you're going to do on the defensive line to try and shut them down?
Well, they're very balanced. They have a great run game, great pass game. So it's easy to say we'll stop both of them, but again, what I said before, you just have to put in a lot of work and be ready for what they're going to do. VI, they pretty much run what they run, and they know what they're running. We know what they're running, but they run it very well, so we got to stop it.
Honestly, well, we wish you all the best. Got 2 more games on the road for the playoffs, so we thank you for your time, Kurt. And one of our graduating players, big asset to the team. Thanks, Kurt. Standing here with Coach Alamolhoda. Coach, tough loss today. What's your feelings on today's game?
I thought our guys came out and they played hard. We made way too many mistakes early in the game. They came out physically hard, but they weren't mentally sharp. And so we just weren't crisp enough initially. They had a couple big plays that really hurt is us from a defensive standpoint not being able to eliminate the big play. And then, down the stretch, it just penalties. We'd get a stop and we'd get a penalty and extended drive for them and they'd score. Hats off to them. They executed their game plan and they came out, physical, flying around, making plays. I think, some of our guys on defensive side of the ball, missing tackles, taking poor angles, not understanding maybe the speed of the young man that was running the ball. So now that we know that and we get back to work and we try and shore up those penalties and see where we stand there, if we can eliminate those penalties. It's been something that's been hurting us all year, and we're going to have to start eliminating those or else we're going to continue to have the result that we get. So I think that the guys did fight real hard. The result wasn't there that we wanted. But it came down to the last play of the game, and it was a close game, and we just didn't come out with the dub. So.
And obviously, you guys are going into a big game next week against Nanaimo. So, what do you bring into this week's practice? What's your main focus going into next week to try and get the W back in Nanaimo next weekend?
I think we got to get back to the basics of football, just, old school football, where we know how to tackle, we know how to block, we know how to not take penalties, we know how to take angles, we know how to pursue, we know how to catch the ball, we know how to finish. We're blocking people up. Like we need to just get back to the basics. Obviously, game plan and scheme the way that we always do, but on the football field, when we're out in practice, we need to just get our focus back on executing the basics of football.
Absolutely. And this week it seemed like you said that they got that big play and they executed well in their offense. Do you think they came in and executed the game plan that you planned for, or do you think they came in and threw some new stuff at you at all?
No, it was things that we had planned for, but what had happened is we had to stop the run. We knew that coming into this game, and that was something that we game planned for, we schemed for, and it just wasn't something that we were able to execute. Guys were either missing tackles or taking wrong angles, or they were getting seals on some of the new things that they were showing us from the week, and kudos to them for showing us that stuff. But we made our adjustments, and we ended up being able to do it, and it just came down to the basics. It came down to being able to execute the simplicities of football, and that's tackling, blocking, and running and making plays, and we just weren't able to do that in the long run.
So you guys, you got 2 more games on the road here. Obviously, playoff implications. You get a crack at them again in 2 weeks. So we wish you all the best going into the Island for the next 2 weeks, Coach. So I thank you for your time.
No problem. Thanks. Thanks, guys.